Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Homemaker Chic Podcast. This is season 28. This is the season where we are doing the thing.
We're doing the thing. Do the thing. That's
I
the
said
name.
the thing.
The thing. Okay. Okay, Shaye.
Okay. I am Shaye Elliott of the ElliottHomestead.com, joined by Angela Reed of Parisian Farm Girl. It's funny, we say our brand names, the Elliott Homestead Parisian Farm Girl, but people don't go to blogs anymore.
They don't know what they are. Well, our brands are way more than a blog at this point. I mean,
I guess.
way more.
I guess.
Yes.
Anyway.
Give me a break. they better be.
Honestly.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
You've seen The Green Mile.
Did I see that? Is it like the weird, like the
Tom
death
Hanks.
penalty movie? Like
Yes.
with the flies and stuff?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
But there's this great scene where the prisoner, he's in there and he just looks up and he goes, "I'm tired, boss." That's what Stu always says to me. We think about how many years have passed since we've been doing something, or like, oh, we've been working on this for 10 years. And he'll say, "I'm tired, boss."
True that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Okay, let's say thank you to season 28 sponsor, Azure Standard. I'm actually screaming into the recording line today because I just recorded a podcast with them, which was so fun.
Awesome.
They are, to have a company like that who's just like, yeah, let's cook for people. Let's break bread with people. Let's rebuild this community where we share food, where we come together. I'm like, man, I'm all about that. It gives me adrenaline.
What are we making this week? I made something new this week. So
Okay.
I get these little boxes of healthy ramen for Junior. Junior, I have a kid who could live on any legume, lentils, beans. I mean,
Azure has all those.
Azure has all those. That's what's so great. 5-pound bags, 10-pound bags.
That's right.
Junior style bags. And it's Clay.
He's like, "Did you make me ramen though?"
Yeah. No, he's like a Johnny Cash song, beans for breakfast. He likes them cold, he likes the juice, whatever. He also loves ramen. So this week, something great with Azure is you can stock up on things. And I don't know about you, but I have certain things in my pantry that I always need. Coconut milk has to be in my pantry.
Pickled jalapenos.
Okay. That's
yes.
I haven't used pickled jalapenos in ramen yet, but
Azure has them.
But I did, it was one of those nights where you just I know you cook for a living, but sometimes I just go, oh my gosh, there's 4 recipes. And I know there's 40 million recipes, but it's like, what am I going to make new tonight? You're just looking at that standard inventory that you always have in your fridge. I'm going to try it. I'm going to do a different ramen than I've ever done. And every person at the table was happy, which I'm at this stage in the game where that's not usually the case. There's always one person that's just tolerating me.
Yeah.
And
it's hard to please them all.
It is. Everyone was so happy. So coconut milk, lentils, stocking up. Yeah.
You got to have the stock to be able to pull things out of the hat.
Sure.
You really do. So Azure has extended a promotion to Homemaker Chic listeners, to new customers. So you can visit AzureStandard.com, create a new account, place a minimum order of $100, which is easy to do.
Yeah.
And it will be shipped to a drop location of your choice. This will be 15% off, by the way. That's the promo, 15% off with the code Homemaker Chic. But I want to point something out. They just announced that now with their drops, they are coordinating with local drivers. So if you can't make your drop, or you just can't get there, or you can't be bothered, now they are helping to arrange drivers to bring it to your house, which is so great. So you can visit AzureStandard.com, use the promo code Homemaker Chic, all one word, to save 15% off your first order.
Okay, can I just give one little pro tip? I don't want to wait till next week for this. it is chicks season. So I know so many people this time of year, they're going to Farm and Fleet or Tractor Supply or whatever, the hatchery, and they're getting chicks. And as you're budgeting as a family, it's easy to kind of look forward and go like, how are we going to afford to feed these birds until they're laying?
Mm,
They also have animal feed.
I get all my animal feed,
So this is a
all of it.
great time for you to save 15%
Mhm.
on the pullet animal, like feeding them while they're not
Yes,
doing anything for you. Just saying. Okay.
very true. I actually just got mine in the mail today. My
Oh my
little
gosh. I
chicks.
can't. I need to. I can't do that till I get back.
I know.
I can't think about
No,
one more thing till I get back.
it's true. But it's funny these different stages you go through in your life because I went through like my French Mary, what are they called? French. They're
Oh,
the
black
ones that
copper
lay the
marin.
black copper marin.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am. Mm-hmm.
And they lay these chocolate brown eggs. They're
Yeah.
so beautiful. And I've gone through my silky stage and I've gone through like my buff Orpington stage. And now I'm like, give me the Franken chicken that gives
The
me the
ugliest bird
most eggs
that
ever.
lays 375 eggs a year.
I have kids that will eat 4 to 6 eggs a serving.
Yeah.
It's barbaric.
Oh, so I'm on the flip side. So if the wheel just keeps rolling, I've done that. I'm like, give me all the fancy birds. Okay, give me the utilitarian Frankenbirds. Now, my sister shared a picture of her eggs with us on our group chat, a couple weeks ago, and it was just that like
Oh, yeah.
rainbow. I'm like, oh, I got to do that again. I got
Yeah.
to do
Okay.
that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, if anyone's wondering what breeds I ended up with, Rhode Island Reds. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
straight up
Straight
American
up, right.
farmyard chicken. Great layers, though. And Easter eggers, which are also really, really great layers.
Mm-hmm.
They're not my most favorite in terms of their personality, but
Oh, no.
luckily I have my Juju and
Right.
she loves things to death. And so she makes them love her and she makes them love people,
I'm going
whether
to
they
love
want it
it
or
and squeeze it and keep it for my very own. Yeah.
there's a little bit of that. Speaking of the day that we're recording this, where we're having to record early because Angela is going to France.
Mm,
Um, Today is my Juju's birthday,
mm,
and she is 10 years old, which means I have no single digit children. And I'm just feeling quite weird about it.
yeah.
I'm not super like crazy nostalgic about these sorts of things. It just feels like it feels like you're on the roller coaster and you've crested the top and you
Mm,
just know the next decade is going to go.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Hmm. I really didn't need you to say that like single
I'm
digit thing because Junior's hot on her tail.
we
And
got to tell them the story.
uh,
When I found out I was pregnant with Juliet,
okay, wait. I was sitting on my couch. Joel and I were watching a movie. We had this white IKEA sofa. It was our first like real sofa ever, not a vintage sofa, right? And I was sitting there and it was dark and I was kind of curled up on one end. He was on the other, and the phone rings. And the voice on the other end of the phone goes, is there such thing as a false positive?
I think there were more tears involved.
And me being the good friend I am just burst into laughter.
Well, here's the thing. I had my little baby Will. Okay, he was baby Will for the first 8 years of his
Hmm.
life. My third son was born. He was 4.5 pounds. He was just this piccolo. He was so cute. And he stayed little forever. And he was just the most scrumptious little baby.
You have beautiful children. Yeah.
Yes, I do. And he had this blonde curly hair and he was just wee forever. I mean, it was like a mother's dream.
Hmm.
And I was nursing him. I was kind of starting to physically feel like I'd had 3 kids in 4 years. Okay.
What? Yeah.
So I weaned Will and I was like, okay, girl, we're gonna go see a doctor. We're gonna take a break.
Mm.
We're gonna get back right. And 3 days later I found out I was pregnant. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this again. I don't know if I can do this again. We had 4 and 5 years, so it was physically
Hmm.
incredibly intense for me. But then
But
after after Angela
after I so
laughed,
compassionately laughed,
she
12
called
weeks
me
later,
what I was going to say 4 months, 3 months
uh,
later.
well, he was, so her birthday
He's
is now,
July,
and he's June.
June. Okay,
Hmm.
so 8 weeks later,
Yeah. Okay.
aggressively crying,
Yeah.
and I said, Angela, it's okay. Like they, did just this general, you love your babies. Like
That
this is
wasn't you.
good. And
Yeah.
she was just like, you don't understand. You
It
don't
wasn't that. It was
understand.
just the 10 months of barfing every day.
10 months of
That's what I
barfing.
just thought. I was like, what, how can I do this again? I have five, and now I
Yeah.
get to lay on the bathroom floor for another year.
Yeah. No, you guys,
So
when Angela's pregnant, I remember
not
calling
joking.
her one time. She was driving to Target. This was when she was pregnant with Junior. And she had a plastic grocery bag hanging off of her
Like stretch, I would
steering
stretch
wheel.
it. Like I would hold the steering wheel 10 and 2, right? And I would
That's
like
right.
loop my fingers through the barf bag so I
So
could.
that she could barf while she was driving to the store. That's how sick she gets. And the woman had 6 kids.
And still gain
She's
50 pounds every time. Woo! It's like a
she's
miracle.
amazing. Anyway, what are we
Uh,
talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about like do the thing. Uh, I want to talk about dreaming and saying yes
Oh,
because
okay.
I think maybe with a lot of women, there's this hang up that if I dream, it means I'm not satisfied or content with my life. And I imagine like we could talk about like just this permission to say yes. And just because you have big dreams or even wanting something bigger, better, faster, to use an expression, like that doesn't mean that you're malcontent. And like, what does it mean to, like most women don't lack dreams, okay? I think they just lack the permission to even entertain them and even the discipline of just setting aside time to entertain them and stay in touch with that part of themselves.
Hmm. I was texting a friend about this earlier this week, about this exact thing. And I said, I feel that struggle of I'm not discontent. So why does my heart keep going places that aren't really helpful, to be honest with you?
Hmm.
And she said the problem is when you're this way, and I don't think everybody's this way, but I think if you are, it can almost feel like a burden because it's like when you're a creative, you don't say, well, I've painted 100 paintings, so I'm not
Sure.
gonna, I already did it. See, I'll just be content with the 100 I painted.
Hmm.
That's not how it works.
Hmm.
It's like it's alive. This piece of us, it's alive. And she was saying, look, once a dreamer, like those things that drove you to get married, have a family, build a home, surround it with gardens,
Hmm.
paint your walls, rearrange your furniture. That is the same person who, like, you don't stop being that person.
Hmm.
So where do you direct that? Where do you direct that then? I think that's kind of where people feel this frustration because secretly you live with guilt thinking, well, I have more than I could ever ask for.
I know, but most of us have a fridge full of food and we still like to go out to eat.
Yeah.
We still have anticipation and look forward to going out to eat. So I guess,
Hmm.
hmm,
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think I think there's a lot of hangups on like what will people think of me if I even vocalize this out loud.
Do you think
Or
that's the biggest piece?
I do. I do. Because I just think there's this big thing about being content. And I feel like there's this idea that you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like you can be content and still want to do things. Contentment doesn't mean like I'm happy never doing anything again. It means I'm at peace right now,
So one of the
right?
things that I struggle with contentment, and
Okay.
I don't want to lose my thought because I
Okay.
also want to talk about how age affects contentment.
Write it down. You got a pencil?
Yeah.
Notes.
Okay.
Okay.
Age. Okay. Um,
Post-it.
one of the things I've always struggled with is this idea that things take work. Contentment, ultimately, I think if we're defining it, you and I are defining it based on
Mm-hmm.
our worldview. It's,
Sure.
I am satisfied with what the Lord has allocated to me in this season.
It's a lack of covet. It's got to be a lack of coveting,
Right.
you know.
Sure.
You're okay.
Sure. I think that's kind of the just the
Okay.
other side of that
Uh-huh.
coin is when you actually feel that way,
Mm-hmm.
you're not thinking, yeah, I deserve a little bit more. No, these people have a little bit more. Just
Mm-hmm.
need a little bit more, right? Um, I lost my train of thought on that one. Took too long to
Oh, you
define it.
wrote down age. You wanted
Okay,
to
I'll
come
go to
back to
that
that.
thought.
Okay.
Do you find that if people judging you, if that fear of people judging you
Mm-hmm.
is the number one reason that we don't vocalize these things. Have you found that that changes as you age? Or are there still things that you hold back?
Um, I mean, I don't know if I'm the best person to ask that question to because I'm pretty scrappy as far as what people think. No, I mean just being real. Like I think bird's eye pragmatic view, I'm maybe a bit scrappier. Um,
Have people said things to you like you've had to get scrappy about this?
um, maybe just snarky comments here and there, like about like that I do too much or
Mhm.
like, oh, your poor husband, he has to do another project or, like,
That's fair.
yeah, okay. Uh, but I do think, okay, the question about age was what? Like, do I care less?
Yes, have you started to care less? I've started to care less. I've noticed.
There is, I, I've actually just even been wanting to talk to you privately.
Ooh,
The,
let's do it.
the ability or the caring, Shay, it's just on a full-on day crescendo from here on out, man.
That's how I feel.
It just gets more intense and not even a like screw you kind of a way, just like, nah, nope.
I just don't care.
I just guess what? Mm. Um, there are things that I want to do really bad. And I guess if there is a portion of me that cares, it's that um I don't know. Like I think we all want to be taken seriously. And if I add one more thing to the list, it's like, no, 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 I'm serious about this. No, like,
Mm.
uh,
So you think people won't take you seriously if
I,
you vocalize
uh, I,
pieces of
I
yourself that you
I don't
want
know.
to
I
live?
actually,
Okay.
I
I
don't
love when
feel
we
the,
think out loud.
I don't feel the need. Okay, so I don't feel the need to vocalize it actually. Uh, like it'll come out when it comes out. Like I've been hinting here and there, just like as not anything strategic, even like I want to dance tango again. It's been 20 years. I don't know how I'm going to do that because I have a partner that doesn't want to, but like I'm going to figure out a way, whether I'm just dancing by myself or whatever. Like that is,
A
and
solo tango
I'm
dancers.
serious. Like you seriously, like you should have seen me the other day just practicing with my tripod and my phone, like this, like so I could follow the steps, because I don't remember anything. I just remember the idea of it. Um, but I'm not done. I am going to tango. I am going to become a sommelier. I already started my classes. Like I'm so not done. And I imagine there's maybe I don't care. Like I don't give it much thought. I imagine there's people that hear that or read that on Substack and just go like, "Ugh, hardcore eye roll," but that's okay. Um, that's why I feel like it's a good topic today because like doing the thing. I think the older you get becomes even more and more important. There's health benefits, there's mental benefits, there's when you're in the trenches with the little ones, there's protection against burnout benefits. Uh, and I think there's so many facets to it. There's this point where doing the things mean doing the thing means you're staying in contact with like you from days gone by and you're nurturing that, or maybe the parts of you from days gone by that you liked and you don't want to see die away. I don't know. There's a lot to it.
There's also this like this version of yourself that comes alive. And to understand somebody or to fully feel like you're expressing yourself, to feel like you're fully just like even just living in your own skin.
Mm-hmm.
Those things need to find expression. So we talked about this earlier on in the winter where when we can't garden, like when I can't garden, my brain gets all sloggy.
Yeah.
Because gardening is when my brain, it's like a street sweeper, man. It's like I don't direct my thoughts at all. I let them do whatever they want. And it's like, hey, do you remember when you said this stupid thing in 5th grade? And I'm like, I don't care. I'm just pruning roses. Do what you need to do. There's something very therapeutic about it. And if you take those pieces away, there is this piece of you that ceases to be expressed. And I think that's where dreams come, is they're a actual, I hate this word, manifestation, an outworking of what's inside.
Yeah.
Of what's inside. So to me, like the tango thing makes complete sense. A dancer was such a big, you being a dancer was such a big part of yours and Joel's story prior to having children.
Sure.
And it was an expression, and it was like this lived out piece of yourself that took you to a new part of yourself. So to me, it makes complete sense that now that, you know, your children can stay home without you for a couple of hours or these sorts of things, it makes sense that that dreaming involves bringing her back.
Right.
I wonder though, I'm just thinking about, we're worried about what people will think. But do they even care?
Well, that's just it.
I'm trying to think of it. If anyone has actually ever said to me, like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
And I can't, or have I even seen other women like be treated like that way? I don't know if I have. Is that just a thing we say?
I think it's maybe just a thing we say.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe based on like 1.5 negative things we've heard over the years, you know? I do think it's just a thing we say. And because really, it's just like having a zit, okay? You're worried about your zit more than anybody else is. It's like everybody has their own lives. And
everyone else has their own zit.
Right. They're not really, like, you're not that special.
Well, that's just the thing. That's why I'm wondering if they're like, look, man, I got my own. I got my own stuff. I don't dance tango. What do I care?
Right. And I think that can be kind of like an excuse card, or or at the very least maybe a procrastination card. Like, I mean, maybe just, and I don't even know that we're really that conscious of it. That people are that conscious of like thinking, I'm not executing or taking the first step towards this idea because I'm worried what people think. I don't think that those actual words are crossing the screen.
Yeah. And there might be some people in your life who just say, what? What do you mean? I thought about this the other day. Well, first off, let me ask you.
Okay.
So you've mentioned dancing tango. You've mentioned you want to become a sommelier. Do you have dreams that expand beyond that you don't say? That you just want to keep inside? Or do you keep them inside because there's something about actually saying them that what? Means like it has to be like you have to be successful at it. What is that?
There's some things that I want to do that I don't quite know how to reconcile with this stage in my life.
Yeah.
And um, from like a statistical might not be the right word, but from they are typically done when one is younger,
Okay.
so I'm kind of looking at like going, okay, when would I do this? And would I even be valid doing
Okay.
this? Would I be
Okay.
relevant doing this? Yeah. So,
That's kind of what I was getting at. I
okay.
think if I'm thinking about just a lot of the women I know,
Hmm.
dreams that they have, there is like this weird pressure. And I don't know if it's a cultural thing. I'm not sure if it's something we put on ourselves or if other people put it on us. But there's this weird cultural thing where we're not okay with just being amateurs or just doing something because we enjoy it. So like people don't sing. They'll say things like, I can't sing.
Hmm.
Well, yes, you can. You can make the noise come out of your mouth. But now, if you can't be a professional singer,
Hmm.
right, and have an Instagram page with 3 million followers and get your music up on, are you really a singer?
Mm. Well, I
So
did
you
that
make
thing for
art.
so
You have to sell
long.
your art
Yeah,
to be valid.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, okay. You can't just paint just because you like to paint.
Okay, I think for the whole conversation, you got to take social media out of the equation because I've said that. Well, I mean, I did this whole thing on YouTube for years, like where I was really pushing celebrating the amateur status. And
Yes.
I pushed it around like my love for like just doing weird things like watercoloring on cakes and cookies. And I was like, just get in there, mess around. Like, who cares? You don't have to be a professional. Also, uh, it does exist even even if you don't share it on social media. I feel like if there's like this validation equation, it's like action plus photograph plus posting on social media equals it exists.
Right.
And
It doesn't
that's
just exist if it's
so
just for me.
freaking gross. I
Yeah.
can't, like, you don't have to share it with people. You don't have to get a thumbs up. You don't have to get a heart on a text message from your friend. Check yourself, man. You can just actually do the thing and slop around in it and flop around in it and enjoy it. And, like, nobody needs to know. I am sure as bleep not going to learn to dance tango to show anyone. You know, like I'm going to do that for me because of how my heart feels when I hear that music and feel my feet on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's this weird thing with us modern women where we feel like, and maybe we just do it out of excitement, but like it does actually exist and it does actually matter, and you did actually do it if you don't post it.
If you don't document it at
Yeah,
all.
document for sure. Yeah.
My
Hmm.
cooking community and I were talking about this because there was this trend on social media a couple of years ago where, when sourdough kind of took off during COVID and
Sure.
all of these novice bakers would make their loaves
Hmm.
and they'd cut them open and then they would open it up for their real.
Mm.
Well, there were a lot of fails, as you can imagine,
Mm-mm.
because sourdough baking it's not impossible, but there is a learning curve
Mm-hmm.
and there is a dexterity
Sure.
and there is like any other thing, a process. And I remember feeling like, I hope these people don't give up.
Right.
I hope these people don't give up because they didn't get the moment that they
Mm-hmm.
wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I hope that doesn't mean that they quit just enjoying baking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we don't say yes. We don't do the thing because for whatever reason, maybe it's just a thing we think, even if we've never seen it. I'm really trying to scrape my brain. I really can't think of one. I really can't think of one. I mean, I've had a few people be rude about me learning Italian,
Mhm.
you know,
I
but
mean, I have had some like nasty experiences. So like when I had a situation once after I had my third, after I had Juliet, third baby. I really like being a mom, and I have my moments of overwhelm, but the newborn stage did not overwhelm me. Having small children, mess, the PMS week, yes, crap on the floor, whatever, like that did overwhelm me. But like the small kids and I liked it.
Mhm.
And I had my third baby and I was in the zone. It was like day 4 and I was downstairs. I was taking it easy, but I had made some bread and the kitchen was clean. And she was from our church and she came over with a meal. And I don't I don't know. I mean, I try not to be offended, but like I don't know if she just expected to walk into like Hurricane Central or what. But like there was bread on the countertop and I was kind of presentable and had the baby and she's just like, "Oh, well, you're just like Susie Homemaker, aren't you?" And I I didn't know what to say. I was a lot younger and you're kind of vulnerable. You've just had a baby. All your hormones are like blah, 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 blah. And I just wanted to go, just doing what I really like. I didn't I didn't mean to be good at it. Question mark. I don't know. I didn't know I just didn't know like
well,
I
like
was just
most insults, it was probably very much more about her than it was about you. Either
yeah,
she had a different experience or she was coming into this situation kind of expecting to be the savior.
yes, I
Don't
feel
worry,
like
girl,
that's
I'm going to wash
maybe
your dishes.
what it was. I don't know. It was really uncomfortable. I wasn't obviously in my prime because you're just such kind of your hormones are just all you're crying and then you're happy and then you're crying and you're happy. But I did have the house like dialed in. I was doing good.
Yep.
It was really that was uncomfortable. I just thought like what was I supposed to be?
What
Uh
version of
yeah,
who you think I am I supposed to present to you at this time?
right.
And I
That's
think that's
probably
where we
like
get.
the my biggest like example of kind of like somebody. I mean, I was doing what I really loved. I was baking bread, I was holding a baby, I had my makeup on, my counters were wiped off. That's what I really loved at that stage I loved it.
I miss that
I know.
stage.
You're like, I got this. And 20 minutes later, you don't got it. But right
I
then,
know. But right
like,
then you
yeah.
do got it. And I was the same way. I loved it. I loved it. And it was simple because what it took at that time to thrive was just like shower.
A boob and a shower and
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. Wiped
Yeah.
off my counters.
Right.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing great.
Mm.
Yeah. I think I think your point at the very beginning was right. I think women are not short on desires.
Mm-hmm.
We might be disconnected from them.
Yes.
I do think that's that stage. Then
Mm-hmm.
you like go through it year by year by year by year, and you become maybe a little bit more disconnected um, from certain versions of yourself or for certain dreams that you held,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to do the thing where you like mature and accept your life is just going to look a little different than you thought
Mm-hmm.
it was.
Mm-hmm.
And your kids aren't going to be these just like perfect little angels. And you're not going to be able, then there comes a time where like you can't control your house in the way that you once could, right? But all along that way, we live with desires.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just a desire to be with our spouse alone
Yeah.
or a
Right.
desire for a clean house. Like sometimes that's as big as dreams can get.
And that's okay. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
do you think that do you think that those can be held in the same hand, like our responsibilities as a homemaker and dreaming and desires at the same time?
Yes, I do. And I will tell you the
I
answer
know the answer, but
right
I knew you were
after
going
we
to say
take a
yes.
quick
But let's
break
take a
to
break.
say thank you to our sponsors. Okay.
And I
Yes.
mean, like overall, I mean, from newborn stage to high school, do you think that it's a skill to be learned to hold your motherly, wifely, homemaking responsibilities in the same hand, as your dreams? I mean,
Yes. And I will tell you, it's a learned skill.
yes.
I
Okay.
think that's really important that you layer
Mm-hmm.
that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Stu always tells me I'm a dreamer and he knows it. I'm like the helium balloon man. He's just constantly just like, hey, hey, just trying to keep me, which is praise
Yeah.
God, truly praise God. But the thing that Stuart always drills in is not like, is this thing right or is this thing wrong? Because we actually believe in Christian freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These aren't what we're talking about here. You learning to dance tango or whatever, visit France. These aren't moral decisions.
Right, right. I mean, I
Okay.
think so much of, yeah. Okay, can we go
These are
back
moral
to that? Yeah.
decisions.
Not moral
Not
decisions.
moral decisions. Thank you. But what Stuart always, always, always has reiterated to me over the years, and if you guys have been a longtime Homemaker Chic listener, you know Stu's a very wise man, and he always just reorients me to managing my expectations. Manage your
Mm,
expectations. Just manage your expectations. You want to write a book? Well, you have 3 kids under 4 and you're nursing? Great. Just manage your expectations of yourself and how long that's going to take you.
mm-hmm.
You want to keep a clean house? Fantastic. You want to redecorate the living room? Great. Not going to happen in a Saturday. Like, manage your
Mm,
expectations.
mm-hmm.
Um, you have whatever dream it is. Great. Manage your expectations.
Mm,
Because we live in reality and we do live with responsibilities and we do live with um some things that are not okay. I'll speak for our family. Okay,
okay.
we go to church on Sundays. That's no secret. Okay, so that orients us in particular ways. We are not free on our consciences. We are not free to make choices that would take us away from being able to worship somewhere on Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So dreams are good, but dreams have to live within the framework that you've already established in your conscience,
Mm-hmm.
in your family, in your home. I am not free to go dance tango if I haven't made sure that my kids are accounted for.
Right.
Now,
Right.
the dancing tango isn't the problem, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
the managing the other piece of it. And so, part of me is like, great, challenge accepted. If
Mm,
if me being able to take time for my Italian, which takes up all my time, if I want to have time for that,
mm,
that means I just need to get better. I need to get and step up a little bit or come up with a different system or find a way that works better for the family so that I can meet the expectations that need to be met in my home for our standards, for our family, for our meals, for from the way we talk to each other to the way we orient our schedule. I need to do that really well.
mm-hmm.
And then once that's managed, I get to move over here and I get to pursue this with a clean conscience and joy.
Sure. I mean, it's first things first, really.
First things
It's like
first.
it's like what we teach our kids. You responsibilities before fun. Like that actually does apply to mom. And but I think that just because there are responsibilities doesn't mean you should lose the skill of even entertaining the thought of the fun. And like
Right.
it's you're not meant to be a martyr. You're not meant to fall in bed utterly exhausted night after night after night, fully depleted, fully not recognizing the woman in the mirror. Like that is not
Something's
the I
wrong.
that something is
Something's
wrong.
wrong.
That is the
Yeah,
pendulum swinging then in
that's
the
right.
other direction.
That's right. And if you feel like that, something's wrong.
Something's wrong. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, my husband says that I need to be selfish so that I can be unselfish.
Mm. What is considered selfish?
He just he knows that I need to be able to have time to put my makeup on. I need
Mm.
to carve out time to work out. I can't give up who I am because I need to be able to come to the table and serve my people whole
Right.
without a chip on my shoulder, quite frankly. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's how he simply phrases it. He's a
Yeah.
simple man. You got to be
Yeah.
selfish so you can be unselfish.
Yes. And, we mentioned, I think it was last week, we did a whole season called It Doesn't Just Happen.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of these things happen. Managing reality, unfortunately, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't just happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And managing our families, managing our home, cleaning none of these things just happen. Neither does intentionally pursuing your dreams. And I think maybe we get a little off track when we think, we watch movies or we hear of these crazy stories where, oh, so and such, they just sold everything and then they moved and then their life was fulfilled and love and perfect and lovely. And it's almost like a dream has to completely remove you from your actual life.
Mm.
And I don't think that's true either. I know that that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
But dreams often look a lot more like a really slow burn.
Yeah, I think again that's just like just kind of divorcing yourself from, is this going to look like a Hollywood story, or is this going to be like a
Exactly.
slow discipline where I have to freaking get up 20 minutes earlier every day so that I can unload the dishwasher to have time to sew or whatever
Yeah.
it, you know what I mean? Whatever it
Oh, I have
is.
this vision in my mind of me at like 65 and I am dressed to the nines. And I'm just on the street in Italy and I'm just and colloquial phrases and they're like, "Oh, did you grow up here? Your Italian is so amazing." And then they're like, "How did you even know to say that?" Because of course, there's all these funny little
Oh my
idiisms that you have
gosh.
to learn to sound more Italian,
Idiosms.
right? You're not between a rock and a hard place. You're between a cow and a horse. That's
Right,
just
right,
the way it is in Italy.
right,
Okay.
right. Yep.
I have this vision, and I'll tell you what that looks like. It looks like ordering a caca Nutella roll instead of a Coca Nutella roll. That's what it actually looks like. I would love to fast forward. Okay.
Oh my
In
God.
the
I
meanwhile, I have my tutor just going, "You know this. You know this word. You know this word. You know this. We talked about this. You learned this." And it just looks like endless. The actual dream looks like work.
it
What is
it
that?
does look like work. I'm gonna write about this. I don't want to like let the cat out of the bag, but whatever. Like I had a really bad French lesson this morning, and my poor husband walked in right after I got done, and I just started raging. I was doing laundry. I was like slamming the washing machine door. Like I actually got mad. I cried. It was bad. And I said, "You know what? The problem, you know what the bugger is in this situation? It's that I'm just going to go back for another beating because I want this so bad. And I
Uh-huh.
know I will have to go through more mornings like this morning over and over and over again to, what did you say? Opposite. What was not manifest, but what?
Outwork
Okay, it doesn't work.
and
To
outworking.
to
Yeah.
accomplish this
Oh, yeah.
this goal slash dream, whatever. I hate those two words. I hate those two words of speaking this stupid language and
Yeah.
not sounding like a moron. I will have to have more mornings like this where
Yeah.
it brings me to tears and anger. I was furious after my lesson this morning. And like it doesn't just happen.
But that's your dream.
Right. But
Isn't that
ain't
wild?
nobody gonna fight for it but me. So
Stu calls it, he'll sometimes when I'm heading into the office to do my lesson, he'll say, "Go take your lashings." Go take your lashings.
exactly. It
And
was
it's,
bad.
but you're emotionally involved in your dreams. And so when you have a bad lesson, look, you're going to take the punch. There was no question in your mind when you got done. Like, oh, am I just going to quit?
No, no, no. That was
Oh, it was a bad lesson. You know what? Screw
yeah.
it. It's too hard.
Hmm.
And that's why, like, we're emotionally intertwined with our dreams, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you probably feel this way in French, but like, there is a version of Shaye that exists when I speak Italian that does not exist. It is like growing a new head.
Mm-hmm.
And you grow this whole new version of yourself that lives inside of you. And like, she wants to come out to play. And I think people feel this way about different things. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure people feel like this about sports or something.
Mm-hmm.
Never had that kind of relationship. But that's that piece that I'm talking about that exists when we're engaged with this. And you think about any worthwhile
Mm-hmm.
anything,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's skiing or art or music or parent, maybe it's some women's dream right now who are listening to just be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't anything that's going to come without you taking your lashings and
Mm-hmm.
just being like, this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. And it will be ecstasy and pain all wadded up into this incredible experience.
Okay. Yeah. I want to go back to something because, like, you and I think maybe we've touched on it. I don't, personal conversations. I scribbled it
I
down
know
because
that
you said
does
it, but like,
mesh together.
I do want to go back to this like real hang up. And I have somebody really close, and I don't want to divulge too much of their story on the show, but I want to go back to these words, moral decision.
Okay.
Because I have somebody I care about deeply, and she has an amazing opportunity that just dropped in her lap. And I was like on the other end of the text message, like, go for it. Just do it. Like, do, do not pass. What's like the Monopoly? Do not pass go. Do not, like, just do
Yeah.
it. You don't,
Yeah.
it's going to be okay. And I think I typed the words, it's not a moral decision. Like, it's
Right.
okay. And if it's the wrong decision, like, you're not going to send your life or your family on this like downward trajectory. It's just
Right.
oops, that I shouldn't have done that. Or that was a fun 6 weeks, but it didn't work out or whatever. I think we get like, it's easy for moms and women to get, because we just like look at our universe, our like everything that's in front of us, and it's like ours, and we feel like it's so much our responsibility that we don't dare do XYZ for messing it up.
Right.
And
Right.
so many things like are not moral decisions. Your hobbies, things you want to try, like it's going to be okay for you to put
Yeah.
your hand to something and even fail, or
Right.
even look back and go, yeah, that did cause the family a little bit too much inconvenience for mom to be gone on Tuesday nights to take adult ballet, or, whatever it is. It will be okay. Like Stephen Bartlett, when he's making like a business decision, like you get to that 51% or whatever, you just do it.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah. And if it's not, then you change.
Then you change. Yeah.
If it's not, then you adapt.
Mm-hmm. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not like saying yes isn't always reckless. I feel like
Oh,
when we're
yeah.
just kind of like in these safe confines of the home or our routine, even whether we're a mother or not, we feel like adding to the plate could be like this horrible, reckless thing. Sometimes you're just saying yes to something. Like, don't blow it out of proportion. It's not always irresponsible. It's not always self-indulgent. It's
Yeah.
just a thing you want to try.
Yeah. Stephen Bartlett, he had a guest on one time, and I love this too, because they were talking about the morality of money. And
Okay.
this guy was saying, look, we all like different things. He said, my wife, like, I want to, I might flip this
Okay.
around, but like,
Okay.
she really liked nice hotels. Like, she didn't care about other stuff. She just wanted nice. When they traveled, she wanted to stay in a swanky place. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
I could stay in a Motel 6. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But he liked really nice t-shirts. And
Mm-hmm.
he like had this t-shirt collection.
Okay.
Like, you get allocated this certain amount of resource, whether it's time, money, whatever, and you get to allocate it. You get to decide where the pieces go for the most part. We're talking about outside these morality sort of things. You do get to decide some of these things, and you're
Mm-hmm.
free to decide those things.
Mm-hmm.
And that also means, if you're living in reality, when you say yes to something, you're automatically saying no to something else.
Sure.
So if
Whether
mom's
it's
going to ballet class on Tuesday, that means she's saying no to family dinner on Tuesday. Well, if Tuesdays are the only night that the family can get together, probably not a good decision.
right.
Like this, I mean, this is common sense, but I think you're right. Yes can feel reckless.
Mhm.
Yes can feel like risk.
Mhm.
Most of the time, it's not. Most of the time, it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it's you know, I think there's a lot more here because we didn't even really get into, kind of what those dreams are, or then I don't know
Well, we could do.
how you
Can we do a part 2? Can we?
how you work them out, or how do you step back? How do you recognize when it's time for a dream to change? I wrote about that on Substack last week,
Mhm.
a couple weeks ago, and it really resonated with people because I was like, look, it was my dream one time to have a dairy cow.
Mhm.
That was my dream. I used my tax return to buy my cow, and I loved her. And that dream had to change.
Mhm.
And that's okay. That doesn't mean the dream failed or I failed.
Right.
It means that time goes on.
Right.
So maybe part 2.
Yeah.
But in the
Well,
meanwhile, I got to scoot because I have a
okay.
birthday girl to go and
Yay.
celebrate. So, ladies, thank you so much for being here with us this season. We are so grateful that you listen in, that you share the podcast, that you leave. We didn't even do comments today. That was my fault.
That's okay. But leave
I
us
didn't
some
grab
comments because if we're going to do a part 2, we want to have
Okay.
plenty to talk about. So leave
Okay.
us your thoughts on this idea because I'm looking at our notes. I got a good 2-3 pages of notes left, but I want to hear from the listeners as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys do that. And thank you for supporting our sponsors. That's how we're able to meet here with you because we could also just have these conversations on the phone. We can't remember what we're texting and what we're talking on the phone anyway.
Right.
But your support of them makes Homemaker Chic possible. So thank you. All their information is in the show notes. And when we do the next episode, Angela will be jet lagged. So maybe we'll do a lot of comments that episode. All right, ladies, we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.